We are back. I'm Bryson.
And I'm Romina,
This is the exchange, or
el intercambio.
welcome again to another episode. We're thankful that you've joined us. Like I said, Romina, last week I felt official because we had the intro video. Now we're
Yes.
uploaded officially on Apple Podcasts, so we're getting even
Woo!
more official.
Yeah,
Go
exciting.
subscribe if you haven't.
Mhm.
And we'll keep continuing to improve there. Sorry for the delay. I know we were supposed to go live at 1 p.m. Eastern. We had some technical difficulties. We couldn't hear ourselves in the studio, so we probably didn't want to present something that you couldn't hear. So we apologize. And Romina, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, ¿cómo estás, mi pata?
Mi pata.
Mhm.
¿Qué significa pata?
It means like a friend in Peruvian slang.
Peruvian slang. And that, my friends, is what we're going to discuss today. As
Yay.
you might have seen from our title of the episode, we wanted to discuss a little bit more about Peruvian slang and slang from the United States, so we can help you connect with local people when you're traveling, maybe sound more like a native, and just so you can learn a little bit. As a reminder, the exchange episodes are really designed for you to learn about culture, learn about new countries and people through conversation. Historically, we've had English episodes and Spanish. This is obviously an English episode. So even if you already know English but want to travel to Peru, for example, you're going to
Mhm.
find some good information about Peruvian slang and culture in this episode. So tune in. If you are learning English, you're in the right spot. You'll be able to hear American slang as well as Peruvian slang. And just as one final reminder before we get started, this is brought to you by Bamboo Languages. We believe that language is best learned in community and through conversation. And that's what we're looking to do today. So connect with us on our socials or on our website to find more about our language groups where you can practice conversation. And we're looking forward to having you join our language community. That's a lot of me talking. Ramina's probably tired of hearing it. So let's get started with today's episode and learn more about some slang in
Peruvian.
Peru and U.S. Do you mind telling us a
Yes.
little bit more about pata, what it means
Uh-huh.
technically as a translation, and how you use it in Peru?
Well, literally, the translation would be like food, but
Okay,
here
like a
in
foot.
Peru, we use it as a slang, as an informal way to say like friend. For example, I would use it like, let's say I'm introducing you to some of my friends, and I
Mm-hmm.
would say, hey, these are my patas, like,
Mm-hmm.
estas son mis patas, and then I would be like, he's Bryson, she's Romina, and yeah, so it's like a kind of informal way that we use to say friend.
Oh, nice. So it doesn't necessarily translate to a foot, but you say friend. So like son mi patas, por ejemplo.
Mhm.
Do you know where it came from, or is it just something that's widely used there?
Yeah, I'm not sure where it came from. Maybe from like I don't know, like I would say like because pato means duck in Spanish, in English.
Mm-hmm.
So and ducks like always are together. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe
Ah,
something like that related to that, I guess.
I like it. I like it. Um, the the English equivalent or the United States English equivalent changes depending on what region you're in and kind of like where you're from. But if we say like, these are my friends, we might say, this is my buddy. So like,
Mhm.
hey, these are my buddies, or depending, these are my homies. Have you heard this before?
Yeah, like
Home.
homies, buddies. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What else? Homies, buddies. Sometimes we'll use like, for example, in different areas, we might use these are my amigos. Like a little bit of Spanglish. But I'd say buddies, homies, friends, are probably the top for us. But you've heard both of
Mhm.
those before, huh? Or all three of them, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, yeah, I've heard them like maybe on series, on television. Yeah,
Yeah. Have you heard about dude? Like, what's up, dude? Like more
yeah,
so
yeah.
like a question.
I think that's used a lot too. I've heard dude like even in
Mm-hmm.
like maybe music. I think
Mm-hmm.
also too. Uh-huh.
Yeah, yes, you're well versed in the United States.
In this line.
Yeah, if you are traveling here or have some friends in the United States, you can say, "What's up, dude?" and just sound like a
Yeah,
local, or "That's my home."
like a local.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. So you're already on a starting off on the right foot with him to be able to connect with the locals. So pata maybe comes from duck. We're not sure, but very interesting nonetheless. Make sure you use it appropriately. Is it okay to use that word in a formal setting, or is it mostly informal between friends
Mm,
and close family members, perhaps?
yeah, I would say it's mostly used in like informal settings, like with your friends, maybe with your family as well. But I wouldn't say it in like maybe a work meeting or something like that. No, I wouldn't.
So you don't walk up to your boss and say, "What's up, pata?" Not good. Okay, okay.
No, you wouldn't do that.
We probably shouldn't. Although in the US, depending on your relationship with your boss, you might be able to
Ah,
say like, "What's up, dude?" or "These are my this is my buddy here," etc. So
yeah, yeah.
depending, if it was like a higher importance meeting or like a sales meeting, you don't want to say that
Yeah, of
obviously
course.
without the personal connection, but you could
Mhm.
use it depending. Probably best to default or start with something more formal until you understand the
Mhm.
relationship and you can move in from that perspective. But that sounds good. What else do you have for me? We have pata. I'm taking notes here, and we'll recap the grammar at the end of the
Yeah.
episode. But pata,
Mhm.
what else do you have there
Yeah,
in
I would
Peru?
say like the slang that we use like most frequently for friend. We have another one that is like the most frequently used is causa. We would
CAUSA.
say like, "Hey causa," that it would be like for friend as well, like "Hi friend," or like "These are my causas" as well.
Uh huh.
I would say it's like the most used one. Like I would, if we were meeting and you were like, we were walking in the same street, I would say
Mm-hmm.
like, "Hi causa." It's like really common to hear like in an everyday situation.
Very interesting. Now, I think for those that tuned into last episode, there's
Yeah.
a famous dish or famous
Mhm.
meal from Peru called causa
Causa.
bis
Causa limeña.
biscausa
Yeah.
limeña.
Uh-huh.
So, talk to me. How do you distinguish between the dish and obviously calling somebody a causa?
Um, I guess it depends on the context. If you say, "Oh, I'm going to eat some causa," of course you are referring to the dish. But if you
Mm-hmm.
are like, "Oh, here are my causas," or like I said, "Hi causa, long time no
Mm-hmm.
see," like we know you are referring to like a friend.
Uh-huh. Interesting. And we've obviously had discussed beforehand, but let's say there's an awkward situation between some
Mhm.
friends. What is a common Peruvian slang there that you might use if it's awkward?
Ah, okay. If it's awkward, it would be like palta. It's
Mm-hmm.
like an avocado.
Okay.
Here we use palta for like something embarrassing that it happened. Like maybe you trip and you fell on the street, and it will be like you can even say like, "Oh, qué palta," like that was awkward,
Mm.
that was embarrassing. Yeah, yeah, we use it a lot. It's like we use it very frequently. Yeah,
Interesting. So if we are traveling to Peru, for example, and you hear that, that might not mean that you want to eat an avocado, but something awkward happened.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so when you say que palta, is it always used with K, or how does that necessarily um, how would one who's traveling say it in a way that sounds like a native que palta, or could you use it in another situation as well?
Um, yeah, I would say it's mostly used with K, like how
Mm-hmm.
embarrassing. Maybe, like, for example, I'm talking about language learning. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just learning English, like, my English is very basic. And let's say
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the street, walking on the street, and a tourist comes and asks me for directions. And I would
Mm-hmm.
be like, "Oh, I don't know," like, and that would
Um,
be like que palta, like I would say to myself like que palta. That was embarrassing.
I gotcha. I've
Yeah.
unfortunately had that too many times. In fact, when we did our Spanish episode, I had some palta moments in there too. So I understand. For us in the United States, if it's like awkward,
Mhm.
sometimes we'll say like cringy, if that if that translates well. Cringe
Mhm.
technically is like a reaction, like someone react like that, but we use it to describe a situation that might be awkward. So For example, if I was trying to ask for directions in Peru, speaking Spanish, and said something completely wrong, I would say that was kind of a cringy moment, kind of
Mhm.
a very
Yeah.
awkward. So it doesn't necessarily translate to awkward, but at the same time, we're not using fruit. Is avocado a fruit to
Yeah,
describe
yeah,
the
it's a good.
situation? Okay,
Yeah, but
okay,
yeah, I would say it's like pretty accurate cringe with palta.
okay, cool. Have you
Mhm.
guys or have you used cringe or heard of cringe before for the United States slang?
Yeah, yeah, I would say like currently or nowadays we are like adapting cringe all over
Oh,
Latam, and we are saying it like just cringe, like
nice.
something awkward or something, and we will be like que cringe. So
Ah,
yeah,
interesting. I feel like with the increase in social media and how things are all
uh-huh.
interconnected, I feel like words translate obviously between cultures a little bit more easily than before.
Yes,
So it's interesting that you're using that as well. So you're familiar with it. All right.
yeah.
Okay, cringe. What else do we have here? I'm looking at, I've understood that not only do you use the fruit avocado to describe situation, but pina as well. Talk to me about pina,
Yeah, yeah,
which is
yeah.
a pineapple for those
Yeah.
who don't know the Spanish translation.
Mhm. Here in Peru, piña as a slang means like when you have like really bad luck. Let's say
Hmm.
you forgot your wallet, it got stolen or something like that, and it
Hmm.
would be like que piña, like you had such bad luck. Yeah.
Ah, is that kind of like we say, I guess, to use a larger vocabulary word, like a ubiquitous saying, like it's everywhere, or is it just within like certain small regions of Peru? Like, does everybody say it essentially?
No, yeah, it's pretty universal. It's used
Universal.
like all over Peru. Maybe another example could be like you work from Monday to Friday, but let's say something happened and they say you have to go on Saturday. That would be
Hmm.
like que piña.
Ah, I got you. I got you. You got to work
Yeah.
6 days now. Um, I'm not
Exactly.
sure how that would translate for us. We'd say like "what a shame," but that translates to Spanish pretty
Mm,
directly, like "que lástima," no?
yeah.
Kind of like that. Or I don't know. We'd say like "bad luck," essentially.
Mhm.
Unlucky as well. It's another word. Sometimes people would say "jinxed." I don't know how widely that's used. Uh, I don't think you would say "jinxed" in a situation where like you can't get, like, you, for example, you have to go in on a Saturday. I would say probably
Mhm.
just bad luck or what a shame. Um, Sometimes we'd say a saying here in English like I can't get a break, and so like you've had a
Mhm.
string of bad things happening,
Yeah.
and so you can't get a break, but it'd be like a break from the bad things. So it doesn't necessarily translate literally, but you see that
Mhm.
a lot. Like, oh, you can't get a break, or what a shame, or que pina for those who know
Exactly.
Peruvian slang. So just to recap, for those listening here, we have pata, which is friend. We also
Mm-hmm.
have causa, which is like
Also.
even a closer friend. Actually, maybe just used a little bit more broadly. And
Yeah.
that's in Peru. So if you're traveling to Lima, to go holler at Romina and say, "Hey, show me around the city, pata," you would sound like a local.
And I
Uh,
will.
yeah, she'll show you around. She'll show you around. For in the United States, we'll say obviously friend, buddy. If you're talking to someone, you can say, "What's up, dude?"
Mhm.
Probably want to stick to friend and buddy until you can have that personal connection with them. And then if you're really close, you can say, "Oh, that's my homie." But again, depending on the
Mm.
situation. For awkward situations, speaking of which, you don't want to say that's my homie and you're not friends and now you're in an awkward situation. In
Mm.
Peru, we would say
Que
que
palta.
pin, que palta or que pina as well. Uh, right? No, que pina is probably a bad break, right? So que palta is awkward.
Que palta is awkward and piña is like bad luck. What a
Yeah.
shame. You said.
So que palta would be an awkward situation, and then que pina
Mhm.
because you've had multiple awkward situations in a row, and it's just a shame. You don't want to deal with those anymore.
Mhm. Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
so this will help you kind of get started. This starter pack there in Peru, obviously here in the United States as well. And I think we have one more word for us. What does chamba? Talk to me about chamba, Romina.
Mm. Yeah, chamba, we use it for work, to say work or job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's say I'm meeting somebody for the first time, and I would
Mm-hmm.
be like, "Hi, how are you?" Um, we use it like chamba for work, but it could also become a verb. ¿En qué
Uh-huh.
chambeas? Like, what do you work on?
Ah,
Chamba or chambeas. So yeah, we use it like a lot. It's pretty frequently, and I think in Mexico they use it. They use it as well. Like it has the same meaning, work.
interesting. I was going to ask you if it was
Mhm.
used in other parts of Latin America. I'm not sure
Mhm.
if I've heard it before myself, but
No,
to use, so do you know how it translates literally, as far as like the verb itself?
it would be job or work.
Gotcha. And it's kind of
Mhm.
like using slang instead of saying like in que trabajas, you'd say in que chambas.
En que chambeas, or for example, if I would say like today I have to work, I could
Mm-hmm.
also say like hoy tengo que chambear.
Ah, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Que chambea. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to use that one. I think that
Yes.
sounds good, and it just sounds cool. For us, we have obviously work, job. Those are probably
Mhm.
standard. Sometimes you'll say like, "Oh, I'm back on the grind tomorrow." So like the
Mm.
grind is not necessarily translating directly to work, but I think it comes from the fact that like if you grind, I don't know, spice, there's an act of like grinding it down. So people view work as like
Mm.
grinding you down, perhaps, depending.
Cool.
But some people would say like, "I'm on the grind tomorrow," or "Hey, you working tomorrow, Mina?" Ah, yeah, back on the grind. So that's kind of
Mm.
like one saying. There's also a the same saying, but there's like a social media context, or people be like, "I'm on my grind," like you're working really
Uh-huh.
hard, trying to make things
Uh-huh.
happen. Like I'm back on the grind, so kind of like a different context.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Oh,
it's
cool.
important to like take that into note. But have you heard this before, or maybe the
Yeah,
definition?
I've heard it like you said on social media, but I didn't know the meaning behind. Like
Hmm.
now that you explain it, I'm like, oh, all right, it makes a lot of sense.
Makes
I
sense.
didn't
Yeah,
knew.
I think maybe this is another idea for us. Maybe we could do an episode on like how slang words got their meaning. I mean, obviously, like
Mhm.
CAUSA, for example, is a popular dish. Grind we just discussed, but maybe do that. That'd be kind of interesting to see.
Yeah.
Because we study language and how words evolve.
Mhm.
It'd be interesting. Anyway, that's kind of all I wanted to cover as far as like vocabulary. Romina, do you have anything that you might have heard for the United States that you didn't know what it meant, or any other slang that you might have in Peru that you wanted to share with us?
Um, let's see. Another like really frequently that we could use. Maybe for house, we'd
Uh-huh.
say like this is my house. We could say jato, jato.
Hato.
Uh-huh.
Es mi
Yeah.
hato.
Uh-huh. Yeah, just like that.
Hey, look,
I
I'm gonna
don't
sound
know.
like a Peruvian before this episode's done. We'll be able to use the slang. Es mi
Do
hato.
you have something similar in English?
I'm trying to think. Well, there is an interesting one, depending again the region.
Maybe crib.
I was just gonna say that you already knew it.
Uh-huh.
You already knew it. So, in crib, there's like obviously a context for like a baby. Crib is where babies sleep and things. I'm not sure the Spanish translation, but some people say like, "Hey, I'm going back to the crib," or "Let me see your crib." So that's a popular one. There's a show on MTV back in like
Yeah, I
the
was
early
gonna say
2000s.
that.
You watched that
Yeah,
one too with
yeah,
Exhibit?
yeah. It was very popular here, and they would say like, "Welcome to my crib,"
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
start the
yeah.
tour. Yeah.
Check this out. Look at my fridge. We got it fully stacked. You know what I mean? I got a movie theater in my crib. So we have that one too. But yeah, it's interesting. Crib. Have you heard of any other ones? Maybe I can provide context for house. Mm,
um, crib. Mm, no, I
I'll be
think
honest.
just crib.
Just
I'm
crib.
sorry.
Sometimes we use casa. Like, I
Yeah.
wish you like the words translate back and forth. Like I'm
Mhm.
about to head back to the casa, and you don't even have to know like
Oh,
Spanish.
cool.
People get it.
Uh-huh. That's really cool.
Maybe as our platform becomes more popular, we'll start saying what was it again? The Peruvian word for house?
Jato.
Hato. We'll have people
Uh-huh.
start saying hato, and it'll be like a big thing in the U.S. and all places. So
Yes.
I like it. Let me think of any other slang that we got. Um, I think that should be it for us for house. Hmm.
Or maybe here to say like something it's cool. Perhaps you have heard it. We said chévere, and
I've heard
this
that.
is common in like I don't know. I think in Venezuela they say it too. Maybe
Mhm.
Colombia. It's like more universal all over Latam. Mhm.
Chévere. Have you heard? I've heard of chimba as well. Is that strictly Colombian, or have
Yeah,
you?
yeah, that's for Colombia. Yeah, but I've heard
eh,
it too. Yeah.
So you'd be like que chimba or que chévere. No, that's
Uh-huh.
kind of like how you would
Uh,
say it.
yeah.
Nice. We'd probably say how
Mhm.
cool, or here's another one like I use frequently. I'd be like, oh, that's dope. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's like 80s slang that's like just stayed in the US, but I'll say dope, cool, awesome too. I'm not sure if that translates well. I say, hey, that's awesome. Or maybe like good for you. It's kind of like a way to like provide the positive reinforcement. But
Yeah.
yeah, sounds good. All right. So for the listeners, sorry, we kind of got on a tangent here. We're brainstorming live in action, which is all part of cultural exchange, as you know. And hopefully you learned a few words during our conversation here. We have pata, friend, causa,
Mhm.
friend in
Friend.
Peru, palta for awkward, not
Mhm.
avocado, just awkward. We have
Yes.
piña for just a streak of bad luck,
Mhm.
and chambear for work, no?
Uh-huh. Yes.
All right, with a bonus episode of our bonus word of hato for house.
For house. Yeah.
All right. United States slang, we have friend, buddy, amigo,
Um,
Spanglish, homie. Ramita's gonna pull up the next episode and say, "What's up, homie?" And it'll just be all
yeah.
uh, awkward, cringe, obviously, and like a bad break for a streak of bad luck. And then shout out to 2003 exhibit on MTV. We have crib
Yeah.
for house.
Welcome to my crib.
Exactly. So hopefully you guys have heard some words that you'd be able to use if you're traveling to the U.S. In particular, it was really focused on Peruvian culture, which I think when we have more listeners tune into this episode, there's going to be a lot of interest in Lima. Just over the last 2 or 3 episodes, we've learned about the food culture there, the slang when you're traveling, also the coffee and the lonchecito, which I think Ramina's on
Uh,
lonchecito today. No, you got a
oh,
little
yeah,
break
yeah. I will, I
break
will.
break in the day. Perfect. So hopefully there's a lot of interest there in traveling, and obviously the U.S. We've provided some insight into our culture as well. We want to appreciate everybody for tuning in. Like I said, we think that language is best learned in community and through conversation, and that's something we look to provide both here on our episodes and also on our platforms. But yeah, I think that should be it for us. Romina, anything else? ¿Qué más before we get out of here?
Yeah, maybe leave on the comments if you want us to touch some specific topic or theme. And yeah,
That sounds good to me. Leave it in the comments. Also, give us a follow
and
on
of
our
course,
socials. I put it in the description. Well, we need some likes as well. I think we said last week we have about 1,300 followers. Don't see 1,300 likes. We like to see those. Uh, Other than that, we will tune back in next week, next Thursday. If we get some good recommendations from you guys, we'll put that into our episodes. And I think we'll do a Spanish one next week. So you'll hear me in some pato. No, 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 palta.
falta, yeah.
In some palta situations. You know what I mean? So stay tuned for next week. And we thank you again. Talk to you soon.
Ciao. See you soon.